This is lesson 11 in our study of Proverbs 31, and I am glad you have joined me. Moxie is a very old friend of mine. We met when I was in junior high, and she has been my example of a woman who is a force of character, determination, courage, and nerve. Lesson 11 is all about confidence and determination. We've got a new Moxie vocabulary. Words like connectedness and consistency, watching the reruns of our life, reliability, responding with good and not evil, CEO of life and the child within, seeing through the adult eyes, being a ship, speaking out, and my favorite, servants, I have many. Have you begun to acknowledge that inner strength that you have? All those times you thought you couldn't make it through another day, and you did. You're still here, and you are wiser and stronger than you were before. We have to recognize that. We have to acknowledge it. There may be wounds, and there may have been some mistakes made, and you may be carrying around a little too much guilt, but it's time to let that all go, to learn our lessons, and to move on with confidence that we are now stronger and smarter because of our experiences. And as far as our physical strength, we only get one life, and in that life we only get one body. We have to take care of it. We're too smart to get sucked into the fads, the miracle pill, the miracle drug. When we are living an ordered life, when we've got our priorities in place, when we've learned to rest, when we respect our time, it's amazing how our health has a tendency to kind of fall into line. We have to work at it, but it's a little bit easier when the rest of life seems to be cooperating. So let's move into our lesson 11, and this one is an all-nighter. The verse says this: She advises that her merchandise is good. Her lamp does not go out at night. She doesn't just think it. Moxie knows it. She knows that what she accomplishes is good, and she is relentless, never turning off the light, never calling it quits. It's not easy to be confident in our finished projects. We get filled with doubt and anxiety, insecurities. They just plague us. There are some of those voices that we have to learn to control. If Moxie has any doubt, she doesn't let it rule her. Perhaps it's the fact that she lives an ordered life, or that she's organized, or that she actually sees a profit, or that she won't settle for anything less. She is confident in her finished result of whatever she puts her hand to, and deep down she knows it's the best she has to offer. And because of that, it is good. Do we give it our all? Can we walk away from projects or events or situations saying, I gave it my best? Because it's only then that we can feel confident in our finished project. Now, with everything, there's a learning curve, and rarely are we perfect at trying something for the first time. We have to work at it to improve our skills. We tell children that all the time. Practice makes perfect. But many of us forget that lesson, and we just want to jump out of the starting gates. Sometimes we're actually being held back to give us time to improve our gifts and to polish our talents, so that when it is finally time, we are ready to go. A silly example is one morning I was sitting at the table and my sisters and mother were visiting. This is back when we lived in Chicago, and my mom had grown up in the city. So we were taking her on a tour of her old neighborhood. Well, I sat at the table with a big map in front of me, the city of Chicago, the streets, and I was kind of figuring out our plan. And my sister came in and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm getting a lay of the land here." And she said, "You study maps?" I said, "Yeah, I study maps to know where I'm going." She said, "I thought all this time you just knew directions. You could just show up at places." Sometimes we do things with confidence, but nobody has seen the behind the scenes that we've studied, that we've prepared, that we've worked really hard to get to a certain point. And what they see is this confident, this talent, this ability that they seem is effortless. However, there's nothing that is effortless. Everything takes time. It takes time to improve. It takes time to learn. It takes to better ourselves. I have found that writing is an amazing journey. There is nothing like it in the world, hands down. But it takes practice and it takes patience and determination to make it to the finish line. I've met a lot of young authors, new authors, who say they just can't wait to get to the point to be critiqued, where people can take their work and tell them how they can improve. But then when it finally happens, they are totally crushed and they are ready to quit, and they get angry, they get frustrated. Part of our learning is our ability to receive feedback, whether that's good or bad. Now, we also, in receiving feedback, we need to understand who it is coming from. You can't possibly please everybody. So everybody's feedback is not going to be good for you. The secret to receiving feedback is to hear everybody, listen to everybody, but then it's your job to cipher it, to put it through some sieves. First of all, if this is from a writing standpoint, if this is a person that I don't intend to write to, this is not my audience, then I need to listen to their feedback. But it isn't as important as feedback coming from somebody who I want to write for them. I want them to read my work. I want them to get something out of what I'm writing. And if they come back to me and say, Jeannie, you're missing it here a little bit, or this doesn't make sense, or you need to work on this a little bit more, I need to listen to that closer, because that's my audience. We have to be able to decipher when we get feedback. Some people are just great at giving feedback and they give it to everybody, but it's not coming from any kind of skill or talent or history that they have. It's simply coming out of their opinion. Again, we have to be open and listen, but we don't have to receive it all. If we lived in that world, we would never have any confidence, because we would never feel like we had ever achieved anything. There's a little connection in here that I want to take us back to lesson 4. Lesson 4, when we talked about being reliable, reliability. And I think we could switch some of the words around, and the verse could say something like this: She is confident with her gifts, talents, and abilities, and all who rely on her lack for nothing. She is confident in her gifts. She understands what she's been gifted with. She understands what she excels in. She understands her abilities. I know that when I'm at work and something comes up that I need to do, if it is something that I have a gift for, or a talent, or an ability, something that I've done so many times that it is just second nature to me, there's a level of confidence when I start that project that I may not have when it's something brand new. Understanding our gifts and our talents is important. It is as important as understanding our weaknesses. There are things you can't do. There are things that you will never excel at. There are things that you will just simply be able to get by with your ability, and that's okay. That's why we have other people in our life, because together we make one great person. But when we know our gifts and when we know our talents and our abilities, there's a sense of confidence that comes with that. And thus, when we are part of a team, when we are working with other people, when we are in charge of something, when we are leading something, those who are relying on us lack for nothing, because we're reliable. It's about what we bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? Are you confident? Are you reliable? Are you humble about it? A lot of times when we talk about this confidence and this reliability, people get a little scared because it sounds a little bit like they are proud. They are boasting. But there's a big difference in being confident and humble. And just being a know-it-all, or trying to get attention, or doing things to get the focus on you, to show people that you're better or you can achieve great things. Those are two very different worlds. We can definitely be confident. We can be relied on. And in that, we can be humble. Another piece to this puzzle is the word respect. We've already talked about learning to respect time, and now learning to respect our talents, learning to respect our resources. When I have done that, I come to the conclusion that I can't afford to give it away, which reminds me of a much earlier lesson where our queen told the prince those specific things. Don't give it away. Or in other words, don't waste it. When we start seeing our life as this wonderful gift, we have one life and we've been given one body. We have these amazing resources called time and energy and the air that we breathe. We have talents and gifts. All of those things come together. And when we're living an ordered life, we don't have extra time to waste because we cherish it too much. We respect it too much. We understand balance and that I have to rest, because if I don't rest, all those other things are not going to work as well. And when I start a project or commit to something, I have to be committed to give it my all. I have nothing in me to waste. I can't afford to give it away. Relationships, I can't afford to give those away. I need to have relationships that are strong and healthy and good, that support me and that I can use my talents and give back. In every area of our life, that idea of don't give it away takes on a different picture. It's not selfish by any means and self-centered and saying, oh, no, no, I'm too busy, I'm too important, I can't get involved. It's not that. This is about understanding how important life is, how important our body is. Don't give it away. Don't give it away to overeating. Don't give it away to extra stress. Don't give it away to not be in shape. Don't give that away. You have talents and gifts. Don't give them away. Don't waste them. Use them. Practice them. Make them better. Improve the things that you've been given. Improve on them. Don't waste them. Don't give it away. And finally, Moxy is not a quitter. She doesn't turn her light out. She is relentless. A great word. Not quitting. Continuing on. But remember, you actually have to start something before you could quit it. And a lot of us are too afraid and haven't even taken the first step to get started. Step out there. Step out there. Use the skills and the talents, the lessons, the things that we've learned in this series to build on. Be reliable. Give it your best. That's all you can do, is give it your best. What's amazing is when we do give it our best, God has a tendency to come in and make it fantastic, even when our best is lacking. And I think that's when it happens the most. When we do it to the best that we can do and we still know that somebody could have done it way better, and then all of a sudden something happens, something unknown, something totally unexpected, and suddenly our pitiful attempt in our mind turns into something miraculous. God honors giving it our best and not quitting. Moxy takes life seriously. She lives it to the fullest. She takes advantage of every opportunity, and she has strong arms. She refuses to give up. She takes the time to learn what it is that she needs to learn. She works diligently to perfect it, and in the end, she is satisfied with the final product. And it is good because she knows it is the best that she can give. So, my prayer that I leave for you this week is this: Gracious Father, thank you for every opportunity life offers us. Help us to step out and take advantage of what we have been given. Give us determination to see each task to completion, and nudge us when we feel like we want to give up. Give us confidence in our abilities. Let us finish with the knowledge that we have given it our all, and because of that, it is good. This is Moxie's apron or work vest. She puts it on every time she begins a task or a project. From the daily tasks like washing dishes to doing the laundry, to following through with commitments she made last week, and the larger ones like purchasing land and planting vineyards, or painting a picture, or taking a trip, or writing a song. Moxie is sharing it with us so that we too can become women clothed in strength and dignity, and who can laugh without fear of the future. If these lessons have spoken to you in any way, please share them with your friends on Facebook or in person. Moxie is a great group study for any size. And if a Moxie study is in your future, please contact me. I will send you images that you can use on Facebook or in emails to promote it. This is a great study for women of all ages. I've been studying Moxie for 40 some years, and the words still jump off of the page to me. They still point their finger at areas in my life that I need to improve on, that I could do better in. And I'm energized by this series. It makes me want to do better. It wants me to be a woman of great strength and character, a woman who is fearless, who can laugh at the future, who can enjoy life, who can respect what it is that she's been given, and understand and respect and accept others as well. In Lesson 12, we're going to explore our creativity. I'll see you back here.